Good evening. Welcome to another episode of iPi Live Talks with us. So, as you guys know, we always talk about math being omnipresent and we try and relate it to our environment, our surroundings. But today, the topic that we are discussing on is mathematical thinking can alter the brain map of students. So, what does this mean? It really sounds complicated somewhere or the other. So, just for that particular reason, we have Jane and Akriti, who are super talented individuals we have in igebra.ai, who are going to talk about this topic as to what it means. It might look confusing to you, but let me tell you, they'll definitely ease it out for you as to how mathematical thinking helps for altering the brain map of students. So, Akriti, when I'm talking about this line, it seems to me as a tongue twister right now. So, could you please simplify it for us and what does it mean?
Hi everyone, it's always a pleasure to join the show and to be a part of this show. What mathematical thinking is basically applying mathematics in your uh, daily routine so that your brain functions mathematically. Let me simplify this again.
Yeah.
So you are not doing calculations round the clock in your brain, but rather than you are actually understanding how can you apply those mathematical theorems and formulas and whatever that is, numbers in your day-to-day life. So if you're looking at a tree, you want to see why the trees, why the branches are very similar, and what could be the reason for it. And can you count all the number of leaves that a tree has? They are somewhat very similar, and the never ending process is same everywhere. So you would want to know, okay, what is the reason behind it? Then you come across and you study a concept known as fractals in math. So that is actually based on this entire thing. So this is how you really need to realize that you're not applying mathematics in calculating numbers, addition, subtraction, but also looking beyond that, applying mathematical theory in your day-to-day life, right? So as we use this saying, every action has an equal and opposite reaction, which is a part of physics. Similarly, when we see shapes and figures all around us, we would want to know that is also a part of mathematical space, right? So yeah, so this is how we need to understand and realize that what we mean mathematical thinking in application in real base life.
Okay. So, Akriti, correct me if I'm wrong. You mean numbers, patterns, and shapes are able to actually alter how we think, how we function, because math is present everywhere around us, right?
Absolutely correct, right?
Great. So, that was what Akriti had to say from this particular topic that we came up with. Let's find out now what Jane thinks about this tongue twister today.
Good evening, everyone. So, for me, as far as I got to know what I researched about mathematical thinking is all about, is to develop an ability in our brains to think in such a way where we can apply the concepts of math into real life problems and solutions. For example, it is evident that every day we are faced with various kinds of situations in our lives. So, what mathematical thinking helps us to do is to think in a logical and in a reasoned way that will help us to solve the problem in an easier way, and the outcome is actually better. For example, if you are cooking something or baking a cake, and sometimes the cake does not turn out to be good, so what allows you to investigate is to use that mathematical thinking and to understand whether the portions that you used for the ingredients, are they in the right quantity? Did you use 2 cups of flour and 1 cup of cocoa, or did you exceed that amount? So what actually a mathematical thinking does is to help you to analyze the situation and also come out with a better solution that will help you to solve your day-to-day situations and problems.
All right. So, whatever you guys spoke about, I got to know that mathematical thinking is something which is very useful, beneficial, and is there all around us. That's fine. But why do I need it in the end is what I want to ask, and what my audience would also want to ask. Why do I think in numbers? Like, even I can do without numbers. I'm living a happy life. I can go out, enjoy. Why do I need it? So, Akriti, could you please tell me and enlighten me why is it important?
Okay, so mathematics very rightly said that I don't need numbers, but I tell you what, math is not only about numbers. Math is also about reasoning, application, logic. So I believe there are a number of benefits why mathematical thinking can actually, help kids to, alter their brain map. But I would like to name a few. Mathematical skills are very, very important. And how can you develop these thinking? By playing a lot of math games. So I'm sure everyone must have played this game, Game of Life. It's a
Yes.
very old game, but then majority, I guess, all 90s kids have, played that game. So the game of life is nothing but a game of maths, right? So there you will start your journey, you will, be a bachelor, then you will get a job. Once you get a job, you get married, then you will have some kids, then you will keep on buying properties or you'll invest in some shares. So this is all about growth. You're calculating. Sometimes you have to take loan from the bank. Sometimes the bank will take money from you because you're not able to pay them back. Sometimes you have to pay taxes, or you have to pay your child's education, or maybe you have to give the money for renovation for your house. So that is again a game, wherein you are learning mathematics. You're playing with numbers and you're actually liking it and learning it. Other than that is that you can, apply mathematical reasoning and situations and logics in real life thinking and in real life situations. For example, if you wish to go to your friend's place from your place or maybe from your school, so you can use trigonometry to actually calculate the distance, how much time, how much distance you have to cover. Or you can also calculate the time that you will need to reach to your friend's house, how either, and you can also distinguish this whether you're walking or are you going to your friend's place by car or scooty. So you will, have this thing, although you're not dealing with numbers, Charvi, here, but we are dealing with speed, we are dealing with the sun exposure. Maybe the sun is too hot, so this is the reason I'm walking slowly. So there are multiple reasons wherein we apply and use mathematical solution theorems in our day-to-day lives. Other aspect, I believe, it also helps mathematical also, mathematical skills also help us to build our logical reasoning.
Okay.
Now, what is logical reasoning? What logical reasoning is all about asking why that thing is happening and giving a correct solution to that particular problem. So sometimes we just ask this very normal question to our friends, how are you doing? And they say, okay, fine. Someone who's like, and fine is not a very great terminology. Generally, if someone is saying fine, you would ask, what happened? Okay, tell me, why are you saying fine? So there are some hidden meaning behind it. And you want to ask, okay, this and this thing happened, or maybe I'm failing, or my parents have scolded me, something like that. So you are taking a meaningful explanation from your friend. Why are you not feeling good? You're just feeling fine. What is the reason behind not feeling good? So this is all, I believe, logical reasoning, which mathematics enables us, pushes us to actually aim for.
Okay, all right. So that was enlightening indeed. So it's not just about numbers, as you rightly said. That's what now it makes sense to me that it helps me also to develop as an individual because I'm developing my logical reasoning where I can apply this to my life situations. So that was rightly put up, Akriti. So, Jane, what do you think? So, mathematical thinking is all about equations, numbers, or do I get out of this mundane concept of mathematical thinking?
Well, it's not always about equations and numbers. It boils down to your day to day activities as well and how you can use it every single day. So, as Akriti was mentioning about the game of life, I was also reminded by another game we used to play as children called Monopoly. So, it also involves a lot of trade and buying a lot of properties and making sure that you earn a lot of money. So that was really interesting. And kids also find it interesting to play this game, and that really helps them to develop this mathematical thinking. So, according to me, what are the benefits a child has when he or she has this ability to think is one, that their IQ levels go up. So it has been researched, and studies have also shown that people with mathematical thinking and who have the ability to solve problems, their IQ levels are really high, and they tend to perform better even during their exams because of the IQ levels, which helps them. And apart from that, I also got to know that data thinking is also completely related to mathematical thinking. And whatever data which is given to you, it could be number of students in a class, or what are the assignments that you have to do. So it helps you to analyze how to manage your time, how to manage your timetable, and make sure that you set deadlines accordingly. And it can also help you to analyze the situation better and to come up with a better outcome. For example, if you might face any kind of situation in your daily life, I can give you my example where I day to day have to make sure that I should set the salaries of the employees. So that really mathematical thinking always helps me to make sure that I calculate the salaries on time and analyze the data, how many people are on leave, how many people are getting a bonus this month. And it helps me to analyze all these things and helps me to produce a better outcome, which is very appropriate to the situation.
Correct. I think, Jane, that's rightly put up. So basically, mathematical thinking is helping us to have a very organized life structure in a way, where there's work-life balance, and it's just not about learning numbers or equations. That's something we do in textbooks, but maths is definitely more than that. So I think it was really enlightening, Jane and Akriti. You helped me solve this tongue twister, because as you saw, when even I was introducing the topic, I fumbled because of this very reason, that it seemed to me very complicated. So, yes, but before we wrap up today's show, I would request both of you to just give us one liners to our young minds who also think like me, that math can be a tongue twister to them. So, please, could you go ahead and give one liner? Jane, we begin with you.
Okay, so for me, what I would like to say is mathematical thinking. It gives you mastery in every aspect of your life. So if you have it, you have the solution to all the problems in your life. And make sure that you keep evolving yourself and updating yourself, and be in touch with whatever you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can give us extra salaries, maybe. Just joking. No, so she's rightly put it up, how to manage it properly and how life becomes easy when it revolves around numbers, but in a proper way. So, Akriti, what about you? What is the wrap up line from your end?
So I'm really angry with Jane because she has stolen mine. I was thinking of putting it that way only, but I believe mathematical thinking to me is um, the logical uh, part of our brain, I believe.
Yeah.
So this is according to me. A lot of people might not agree that mathematics is not always logical, but then I really believe that mathematical thinking is logical in a unique way in itself.
Yeah. Underlying meanings.
Right.
Okay, so that's great. Thank you so much, Akriti. Thank you so much, Jane, for being a part of today's show and helping us all together simplifying this particular topic and giving us the benefits as well. So I'll catch you too soon for the next episode. Till then, stay tuned.
Thank you,
Bye,
Charlie.
everyone. Thank you.
Bye.